freaking first cut. Golly. Welcome to the First Cut Podcast. I'm Rick Gehman, and this is your recap episode for this week's Phoenix Open. Joining me to break it all down, Kyle Porter is here. KP, we are battling Usher right now. How do you think we'll do?
Well, it's a big day for Taylor, is all I have to say, right? We're guaranteed that one Taylor is gonna get a victory.
That Taylor in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, is Nick. And the way that he got there was via a playoff with Charley Hoffman. KP, let's set this up a little bit. These two began to separate themselves from the rest of the field in the final few holes of the fourth round. Nick Taylor makes birdies on 15 and 16. Charley Hoffman was posting and waiting, and Nick Taylor in regulation had to make a birdie on 18 to force this thing to a playoff. And sure enough, he does.
Rick, I'm convinced if they play 18 another 20 times, he makes birdie every time. I mean, is Nick Taylor a badass?
What I love about Nick Taylor, and the amount of evidence is growing, the putts that he hits in high pressure situations look like he is just on the practice green, man. I mean, they go in with pace in the heart. They are confident strokes. There is nothing but confidence in that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I actually felt that going into the second, the putt he had on the second playoff hole. So the third time he played 18, I guess it was the fourth time he played 18 on the day, but the third time in the final round, so to speak. And it just felt like he was going to make it, right? I don't know. What was it, like 20 feet, 18 feet, something like that?
It was officially not that far, 9 feet, 6 inches.
No, the second one?
Oh, I'm sorry. In the playoff, my bad. It was officially 11 feet, 5 inches.
I think that was the one he walked in. The last one that he had.
The one that won it.
Was 11 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, still, I mean, that's a 35% putt, something like that. And it just felt like this is for sure going in. That's the feeling that you get with him. And I mean, he was to birdie 3 of the last 4 to get in the playoff, and then both in the playoff. It was I felt bad for Charley Hoffman. I had forgotten that Taylor shot 60 in the first round. Mm-hmm. Went back and was looking at it and was like, oh yeah, he shot 60, because that was kind of the weird Thursday into Friday deal. I felt bad for Hoffman because I think it probably meant more to him just at the stage of his career that he's in. He's playing on a money exemption or a career money exemption. He's 47. To get back into the majors would have been a really big deal. And but Taylor, I mean, Taylor's awesome. Like he's super impressive. I feel like I've really grown in respect for his game and the way he carries himself, just from the Canadian Open last year and on into this year.
Yeah, he didn't go away at this event last year. He was in the mix, almost stole this thing when it was a signature event, and then here he goes out and wins in another playoff. This is Nick Taylor's 4th career PGA Tour victory, first since last year's RBC Canadian Open, the 72-foot putt in the playoff to beat Tommy Fleetwood, the ensuing tackle of Adam Hadwin, etc. That is the last time. And Nick Taylor, definitely the best Canadian in the world right now, right?
Yeah, Connors has dropped off.
Connors, get him out of here. Nick Taylor or Adam Hadwin, get him out. Taylor Pender, no way.
Yeah, I mean, who else besides those 4 is there?
Michael Gligic.
How old is Taylor? Like 33?
Nick Taylor is currently 35.
35. Okay. So, I mean, I think the interesting thing about Nick Taylor, Rick, and we don't need to spend like 2 hours on this, but he won the Sanderson in 2014. He won Pebble. He won Canada. I mean, he's had like a kind of a low key, really good career, you know? Obviously this is, by field strength, I'm sure his biggest win. Canada probably means more, but this is big time to beat Scheffler, JT, Spieth. Look at the guys that are in the top 15 there. Sahith, and then Hoffman shooting 64, and he just went out and took it from him. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, always tough when you beat the rest of the field by 3 shots like Charley Hoffman did, and then
Yeah.
does not get the trophy for it. So Hoffman was looking for his first victory since the 2016 Valero Texas Open. It would have been his 5th PGA Tour victory. I thought it would have been great, KP, for the guy. We were just talking about you taking the photo in the trash truck to get the trash man at the trash event with the W, all that fun stuff. It would have been a perfect day.
Yeah, the tough of grass from 2 years ago, the Instagram post that he had about Live, and
which he like recanted 4 hours later. I mean, just
vociferously.
Stand by it, Charlie. If you're gonna say it, stand by it.
The trash truck was it was beeping as it backed up. But yeah, I mean, look, like I thought the ending. It's always cool to see those guys with their families because it's very humanizing to see this. I think one of his daughters was like kind of crying after he lost, and you're like, man, that would have been. But it was cool for Taylor too. I don't know. It felt like, Rick, and Josh just said this in the chat. It felt like for the last. I was so sure that Charley Hoffman was going to win for the last like 2 hours. You know, as soon as he kind of put Scheffler away or Scheffler a little bit faded, and you're like, okay, well, that's kind of it, right? And Taylor just coming around turn 4 hot and catches him, and you kind of felt bad for him because Taylor's performance will sort of overshadow what I thought was a really clutch and impressive Charley Hoffman performance as well.
Speaking of coming in hot, remember there was a 3rd round to finish on this Sunday, and Scottie Scheffler played holes 9 through 13, all 5 of them in 5 under this morning, added 2 more birdies at 16 and 17, got himself into the mix. And KP, it looked like Scottie was going to take this thing. He starts his 4th round with 4 birdies in his first 5 holes. He makes the turn in 31, and then the putting troubles pop up. He misses a couple of shorties. He loses momentum. He limps to the finish line. He finishes T3.
I mean, different week, same story. First in approach, second off the tee, first tee to green, 44th in putting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just, Rick, every time I looked up today, it felt like I was watching him putt from 10 feet. Yep. Every time I looked at the TV, I was like, oh, Scottie's got another 10-footer.
He hit, I swear, every hole that he played, I think he hit the closest shot on every single hole. Like they would just oh my God, Scottie stuffed another one. Stuffed.
It looks like he has the most control over his short iron shots of anybody. I mean, he does, right? Like just from statistically, but you just watch him hit and it looks weird. But he had one shot out of the bunkers today. It was like a fairway, but not really a fairway bunker because it was probably 120. I guess it's a fairway bunker.
That would also count as a fairway bunker.
It was closer than, like, when I hear fairway bunker, I'm thinking 3-wood. It was like a pitching wedge or 9-iron. And it's like on a string. I mean, he can control, like, I feel like when his club face hits the ball, he's hitting it exactly where he wants to on the club face every single time. It's extraordinary. And he's now finished in the top 12 of PGA Tour events, I guess worldwide events, because Hero's in there. 25 of the last 29 starts that he's had. Top 12.
He's sick. He's truly sick. Also, he's been working with a new putter, working kind of with a little bit of a new stroke. Round 1, gains strokes to the field with the putter. Round 2, he gains. Round 3, he gains. Round 4, coughs up nearly 2 strokes. So maybe that I mean, it makes sense. That stroke, when things get under pressure, like that's where you're going to find flaws in your game.
Yeah, it felt like, what did Hovland win last year late? Was it BMW?
Yeah, he went BMW, then he went Tour Championship.
So it felt like when Hovland shot 30 on the back at BMW or whatever it was, and Scheffler just missed so many putts. He was kind of in control there. That's what today kind of felt like down the stretch.
We'll get one more guy, and it's your choice. Sam Burns, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas. Where do you want to go?
Let's go JT, because both you and I were pretty high on him this week.
Justin Thomas closes his weekend with a 70-68 round 3, round 4. Kind of treads water for most of his 4th round. He goes out in 1 under, but immediately gets the even par after bogeying hole number 11. He does make 3 late birdies, but by that point, it is much too little, much too late. His weekend rounds were not nearly as good as the rest of the week.
Yeah, I guess my question.
I'm getting the call.
Okay. I'm gonna go. You go ahead. I'm gonna finish this up on my own. We'll see you, Rick.
See ya.
I guess my question for Rick, which is a question for me now, was this an encouraging week for JT? Because it started off so well. I just off the top of my head, I think it was 68-65 to start. And you're like, man, he's in position to win, to go out and win this, right? And he did fade over the weekend, but I think I'm still encouraged. The numbers are there. He was 6 from tee to green on the week. I felt like he lost a little juice on his approach play over the weekend. I don't know if we have those numbers, producer Josh, but he didn't hit the ball as well in terms of giving himself scoring opportunities on Saturday and Sunday. But I just think it's been so consistent over the last several tournaments that I'm super encouraged going into Florida, the Florida swing. I guess we got Riv and then Florida swing and then the majors. I think he's really positioned well to make some noise over the next couple months. So yeah, producer Josh says he lost strokes in approach play in the final round. So yeah, that's all we got on players. I don't know. Are we throwing out best bets here, producer Josh? I need some guidance here. Guess I could read the rundown. Yeah, here. Let's go best bets. Okay, so we did okay here. JT Poston missed the cut for me. He was my top 20. I felt good about that going in. Did not work out, but we hit our other 2 finishing positions. Tom Hoagie top 20, Siwoo top 20. Patrick's matchup, which was not a matchup at all, was Travis Kelce first TD of the game. I think the Niners scored that. I've kind of been in and out with the football game. Or Scheffler wins, which did almost hit. I had Cam Young over Adam Hadwin. Cam Young was kind of in the mix to win. And then Rick had Emiliano Grillo over Ricky Fowler. Fowler's been kind of low-key not very good over the last several months. So something to keep an eye on there. Outrights, closest was probably both of mine, I guess, with JT and Sam Burns. Adam Scott was up there. Kitayama was kind of in it. Sam Burns finished T3 at 20-1. That would have been a good one, but did not hit any outrights for Rick, me, or Patrick. I think we have best bets as well. I was incredibly frustrated about mine. First of all, Rick had Jake Knapp top 30 plus 275. That's sweet. It looks like he didn't get credit for it in the betting performance there, though. But I actually changed mine late. It also didn't hit. We have listed here JT top 10. That didn't hit, but I changed it to JT and Scheffler top 10, which was plus 300. Scheffler obviously nearly wins the tournament. He finishes T3. And then JT finishes 1 stroke out of the top 10. He finished T12 late there. So that was frustrating. And then Patrick had Siwoo, Adam Hadwin, and Adam Scott to make the cut. Siwoo and Adam Scott played very well. Adam Hadwin missed the cut, which was great for me because I had Cam Young over Adam Hadwin. Not great for Patrick's positivity parlay because Adam Hadwin did not make the cut. So that's our best bets. We'll have the net updated for Tuesday's show, which will be back. Big tournament if you haven't heard next week at Riviera. Let's look at one and done to close this out. Producer Josh, big time. Sam Burns. I don't know how much he earned, but that puts him up. He probably earned 400 or something like that. That puts him up to 510K. That puts producer Josh up to 1.3. I had JT. I didn't get as much out of that as I would have liked. And then we had a couple others here. Kurt Kitayama. That was actually a pretty good pick from Craig because he finished inside the top 10. Rick had Sam Burns, another good pick. All of these kind of hit. Patrick had Adam Scott. That was a good pick. And then Mark also had JT. JT actually turned out to be probably the worst value considering how big of an, like how good he is. He's ostensibly a top 8 guy and he only got 184K out of it. So Not bad, but I was hoping for more, especially after the 68, 65 start. Adam Scott got 246K. So the worst, I guess, was JT, which is pretty incredible considering how bad we were for Pebble. So not bad there for the one and done. One person out of, I think we have 950 in our first cut one and done pool had Nick Taylor. So congrats to whoever that was. Apparently you paid attention to last year's Phoenix Open. That's it for Phoenix Open week. It's been Rick and I didn't really talk about this, but it's been a really weird year in that Nick Taylor was the second shortest odds so far this year to win a tournament of guys that have won. And he was 120-1. Wyndham Clark was the shortest at 90-1 last week. I mean, it's been the year of the sort of the long shot on the PGA Tour. So that continued this week. Awesome finish, though. It got sort of drowned out by Chiefs Niners, Scottie fading, but it didn't take away from the golf. It was a really, really good ending, and we're on to Riviera. Should be an awesome week. Tiger, another signature event into the West Coast swing. Riv always rocks, and we're looking forward to covering that. So we'll be back Monday with the show, Tuesday with a show, and then on into the post-round recaps next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Kyle Porter. Rick had to depart for CBS Sports HQ, but you can follow him on Twitter at RickRunGood. I'm at Kyle Porter CBS. Thanks to Josh, producer Josh, running the ones and twos. He always does a great job, a thankless job, but a great job nonetheless. So we will catch you guys next week for Riviera.